Welcome back to Ethereal Material, where the mystical meets the practical.
And we are Priscilla and Carla, two professional mediums discussing the gap between the seen and the unseen.
All topics are on the table for dissection and discussion, and today are the Grabovoi Codes.
Which are what? Who is Grabovoi? I didn't hear about this. I never heard about this individual until today. Because you have on your TikTok,
taking
you have a series of, right,
I
as
do.
you should, as well you should.
All right, so here's the controversy. So this is Grigory Grabovoi, was a mathematician. And they called him a self-proclaimed psychic. And I find that interesting because I can say that I'm a working psychic, which I am, but there is proof of that. So I don't know what the self-proclaimed, maybe it's from a long time ago. I'm not sure.
I think sometimes that's the way people minimize.
Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
And I don't know whether he was or he wasn't. I'm not sure.
Because I mean, I'm also a self-proclaimed graphic artist. Somebody can tell me I'm not. I think it's a self-definition.
Yeah,
but anyway,
so I agree. I don't know what that is. And
Yeah.
a lot of people would say that about what we do, but that's how he's noted. But he is noted as a mathematician who combined these numbers to get specific outcomes because everything has a frequency, energy, and vibration.
Yes.
Now, I will say that if you do a slight dive on him, he apparently is not of the best character, which is kind of irrelevant to frequency, energy, and vibration if these things work.
Right.
But apparently he did spend some time in jail and not about the numbers though.
Right.
I believe he claimed he could resurrect a group of children that passed in something for money. Now that is extremely shady, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
But I've given this some thought when I've studied the numbers, and I'm not an expert at them at all, but I've been using them and teaching them for a little while. And I grappled with that, like the whole character thing, and I thought, okay, there's people out there that may not be of good character, but they may be good school teachers, or they may keep a great horse farm, so it doesn't, you don't have to know them, but if you're not of good character or something, doesn't mean you didn't hit something
But we
right.
don't know what came first. Did his discovery of these radionic numbers? I did a little research on this because Carla just taught me about this. Simply mean that there's a recognition among non-empirically based scientists that numbers have a certain frequency. And to those of us in the New Age fringe, this isn't such a far reach because we believe that light has a frequency, that colors have a frequency, that, words and tones, sound healing has a frequency.
But that's a fact even in scientists. Right? So that's not even
somewhere.
Age. Everything has a frequency and vibration, right? And you can't kill energy, right?
Right. And
the
I
law
think
of conservation.
with the radionic numbers, my understanding in a brief little bit of research I did was that he matched, he put numbers together in frequency patterns to meet where there was like disease in an organ or a lack somewhere, so that the numbers that he put together with their frequencies would counteract and bring healing to specific things
and reprogram that reality. So you can call that quantum physics, quantum leaps.
Right.
It's interesting because when people do these, there's so many reports, which I found fascinating, where they work. So why not talk about a couple?
Yeah.
And we'll give them to you.
So we'd like to do an experiment. So if you're watching this on video, I'm going to be putting these numbers up with each one that we talk about. But if you're listening to this on Spotify or Buzzsprout, we'll repeat the numbers a couple of times. Pull over if you're driving. Write them down. Of course, you can always rewind later or listen back later and get them again. But we did put together a couple of them because there are a number of them and a number of numbers. And I think it'll be interesting to just call out a couple of them. So if you are a person who is looking for romance in your life, because there's a lack in your life, right? You should be able to repeat these numbers. Tell us how you use them.
I was just going to say, you can repeat them. You can write them on paper. They talk about writing them on your skin if you're into putting, writing on yourself. That's up to you. They also talk about mentally writing it on your skin, saying them out loud in a blunt, non-emotional attachment. You can't be mad at someone and repeating the numbers. Sure. There's also the bay leaf, where you write it on the bay leaf. and then burn it safely and
Write it on your water bottle.
and get, oh yeah, the water, because water has frequency. So that's a whole nother thing. So there's a number of different ways, and you want to start out the most simple way, repeat them.
Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly.
With an intention.
With the intention. And, obviously there's a little bit of faith, but this is not an act of will. This isn't something that we have to use our willpower to force to happen.
No force.
If you believe or consider believing or can imagine, can stretch your rational mind a little bit to imagine that numbers do have frequency, and you, in whatever way, with the intention, but by choice, not by force of will, but by choice, and intention, repeat these numbers, write them down, write them on your water bottle, put them on a piece of paper, put it under your pillow at night. It would be interesting. We would love to hear from you guys, because we're going to try it ourselves. We're going to lay out a few. You've seen some of this actually work. I have not. Today's my first day hearing about it. So we pulled out about 8 of them, 8 or 9 of them. So the first one let's talk about is romance. So if you are looking for romance in your life, or your romance could use some enhancement, I want you to write down or repeat to yourself these numbers: 973 594 066. 973 594 066. If you are going to try that, please write that down again. See if you feel more romantic, if you have people start flirting with you, if your partner becomes sweeter or more romantic. Please let us know if anything seems to change with this. Because again, these are the sorts of things where there is no empirical evidence, really. And of course, people are so quick to dismiss this stuff like it's nonsense. And maybe it is, but that's why we talk about it. We don't know.
Also, if you do this and you're out at the store and you have somebody flirting with you or saying something romantic and you don't like them, that doesn't mean it's not working. I always tell my clients, no, that's increased. You just need to sharpen it to what your frequency is. It's still working.
Right.
So keep that in mind.
And pick another topic.
A big one, financial abundance.
All right.
Okay, so here we go. 318 798. I'm going to say it 3 times. 318 798. 318 798. The code for financial abundance.
Yep. So put it under your pillow. And abundance can be finding $5 in your pocket, right? It can be picking up a quarter. Remember, there's A Course in Miracles says there are no small miracles, right? So if you're manifesting money and it's any small amount more than you currently have, that's abundance, friends. So, I can't tell you the number of people we've both worked with manifesting with our clients. Like, oh, it's only 20,000. One guy, he drove a cab. He came to me specifically for manifesting money. His wife was on a fixed income. He was driving a cab, but he was getting older, and he was, couldn't sit so well. So we talked about abundance. We talked about manifesting. He calls me the next day. Someone had dropped and left a $20 bill on the floor of the backseat of his cab. And I was like, Harry, you did it. That's fantastic. And his reaction just blew me away. He's like, well, that's not abundance. I need like $20,000. This is bullshit. And I just remember going, oh my God, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. But he did it.
It
worked.
Right.
And you've got to kind of like a surfer. You got to ride the wave.
That's right.
It's hard. I totally
you got to celebrate it, because there are no small miracles. And $20, as far as the universe is concerned, isn't any different than $20,000.
It's not.
It's our ego's judgment of them. So we have to be very, very careful when manifesting romance with those numbers, financial abundance with these numbers, is that just you're creating a wave. And every little bit that is more, you celebrate, you treat it like it's $20,000, you treat it like it's your soulmate. I mean, not the person necessarily, but the energy, your response to it. And then the next day it's $40, and then it's, $4,000, and then it's more and more and more. So what about finding a job? I saw the numbers for finding a job, and I know a lot of people who are
do that.
who are either building their business. So if you have a business, you want more clients, or you're actually looking for a job because you don't have one, or if you're looking for a job because you want something better than you have, I think these numbers would fall into any of those categories. So if you want to find a job, improve your job, find more customers for your business, 931-51-864-1491. I'm going to say it 3 times too.
That's a long one.
931-51-864-1491. Find a job, 931-51-864-1491. I'd love to hear how that happened. You know what? I'm going to do that this week.
Okay.
I booked myself a light week coming up. But I'm going to see, and I usually sign up 1 to 2 clients a day for ensuing weeks, subsequent weeks. But I'm going to do that. This is my experiment. And I'm going to see if this brings me, if I have a significant increase or a noticeable increase in clients that come in, jobs that come in. Because I mean, I don't think of my clients as my jobs, but I think I could apply this.
No, do it and see what happens.
How about another one?
These numbers are getting long and I have dyslexia, so you're all going to have to bear with me here. So what am I going to do next? The achieve goals?
Sure.
Now, keep in mind achieving goals can be small to large, all right? And that can sound vague, but pick a goal when you're doing it. Now, you can do the broad achieve goals, but eventually you're going to want to finite that frequency. Okay, so achieving goals, Grabovoi. 894-719-7848. 894-719-7848. We'll do it one more time. 894-719-7848. Achieve goals.
And we would love to hear your feedback. Should we do a few more?
Let's.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
This one I think is great. It's for canceling negativity.
Yeah, that goes over well.
Because negativity can be your own pessimism. It can be your own anxieties or worry, like, oh, am I going to get a job? Or am I going to find my soulmate? Or I guess there's no reason a person can't do these numbers in combination, right? If I want to find a job and I've been looking and I haven't been able to find one, so I also have associated with that job search a great deal of pessimism or feeling depressed about it, not clinical depression, but situational depression about it. Couldn't I also cancel negativity?
I would do them at different times of the day, not together. I wouldn't do them like one, just that's me. I haven't researched this, but just in my wheelhouse, I wouldn't do them in the same 5 minutes.
Right. Just because it would be diluting our energy.
Yeah, that's what I think. So morning, afternoon, whatever. Yeah.
And another thing, I think if you have a friend or a partner who is open to this, we know that, where 2 or more are gathered,
that's true.
There's more energy.
That's a good point.
So if you have a friend that isn't going to think you're totally off the wall, or you can kind of get your partner in with the same. Remember, you don't have to have emotion with this. These are numbers. They're frequencies.
That's why we don't want the emotion.
Right. You don't even have to believe.
Neutral.
It's a matter of, that's what's beautiful about numbers and about math. It is a language that is consistent and predictable. But when you pile on, or when more than one person is lending their intention and their voice and their energy to something, it's exponentially larger. So if you have negativity that is out there that you have to deal with, you have to walk into a toxic workplace all the time, the dumpster fire state of the world is getting you down, and it's really or you're beleaguered by past failures, let's say, try this cancel negativity Grabovoi numbers. I'll say them 3 times. 47, 481, 321, 48. 47, 481, 321, 48. 47, 481, 321, 48. I feel better already.
I was doing, I was like, oh, I think I'll do that. Then I actually stopped and was like, oh, I'm doing a podcast.
That one had a nice rhythm to it. So I think,
I was with your flow there.
I think even sometimes chanting something, repeating something, which is why saying a rosary or mala beads, or sound healing, anything that you've gotten to a rhythm about, can the rhythm
The
itself
rhythm, it does.
can
Well, that's
change your
why people
frequency.
follow their breathing and they,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
true. I mean, I feel it's true. It's a
Yeah,
thing. Okay, moving into, why don't we do one for peace?
that would be good.
Now, peace is also shades of gray within peace.
Mhm.
So you can do it for yourself, inner peace or peace with a situation
Mhm.
or interaction with someone else. You decide, okay? But here's the code for peace.
Yes, before you, I think you're right. I don't think we talked about that. I think we can say these numbers with someone else in mind, right? I mean, why not?
People do. I have to be honest, I have never tried that. Um, Peace within the household I've probably done or for my
Okay.
children, but I don't personally have experience where I've targeted in a good way somebody, but I would
I mean,
not
so many people pray for peace
do
in
that a lot.
parts of the world. So if you are a kind of
That's
person who
true.
prays
Focus on
for peace in the Middle East or, in your community or in your household or your son and daughter-in-law's household, for example, why not add these numbers in as well?
Absolutely.
Right? It can't hurt.
All right.
Go ahead, tell us.
Peace. 10011 050 10. A lot of zeros for Carla.
I like the zeros. It's
got a groove. Dyslexia, not so easy. 100 11 050 10. One more time. 100 11 050 10.
I think for me, and I'm not an auditory person at all. I'm not clairaudient at all. When it comes to mediumship or psychic readings, I got nothing. I got no sound in my clairaudience, not the impression of hearing. I'm auditory and I'm clairvoyant and clairsentient, so I have pictures. But something about saying the numbers out loud, even though I would be the kind of person to look at them and say them in my mind or write them down. So the visual, which would be looking at them, or the kinesthetic, which would be writing them down, like on my skin, for example. But something about saying these out loud seems more intentional to me, seems more like I'm focused on it. And it's interesting for me because I'm not auditory. I don't lean in that direction at all, but this somehow is resonating with me.
I think when you say them out loud, that's true. And then they become embedded in your thinking and you're saying it in your head. You'll see when you're driving, when you're like sitting there, it'll become the mantra in your head without you even knowing it. It's fascinating.
So how about healing the body? I know
Let's
that
do
there
that.
are Grabovoi numbers for healing certain organs, for healing things in particular, but let's just do a general healing the body one. This one's a little bit like a phone number. I love it. 918-794-8181. It's like dialing up healing. 918-794-8181. Healing your body. 918-794-8181. My partner just had a cataract surgery. So I'm gonna see how his recovery goes. I'm gonna slip these in there.
Slip those in. Don't even tell him.
I'm gonna trace them out on his back with my finger.
That's good. That's good. I like that. Let's do one more.
Okay. What do you think?
Fighting addiction.
Oh, that's a good one.
And that would be all types of addiction. It could be repetitive thought addiction. It could go from the extremes to things that are illegal, and it could go to just negative thinking.
To scrolling, to addicted to your phone.
Really,
right?
whatever that is. That encompasses so many things. Again, if you want to do it with an intention for one thing, then please do so. If you're afraid to do that because there's so many things, start out just with a number.
Yeah.
I think there's rules, but there's not rules. We just need you to get the job done. So fighting addiction. 148-43-292. 148-43-292. 148-43-292.
So that's pretty cool. I like these Grabovoi codes. So I was thinking about looking up other ways that we can kind of like why they work. And according to the creator, like other law of attraction techniques, some things work better and are enhanced for different people.
Oh,
So
that's
if
true.
something
Look
doesn't
that up.
work for you, it doesn't mean none of them work. Some things
That's
work
true.
the same for, some things work the same for everybody. Some things work for one person. And so, again, the theory behind these radionic signatures is that everything is energy. And so these are sort of energetic signatures. And every person, place, and thing on the planet shares the same electromagnetic field. We share it, but we each have our own. And so when my electromagnetic field energy gets changed or distorted in some way, problems like disease or malfunction can occur. And that's why the theory is some of these numbers can work, because numbers have so much power and energy. And if you do angel numbers or numerology, this isn't that different.
I heard a joke that if numbers solved something to the effect, if numbers solved anything, accountants would be like the second coming,
Oh yeah, right.
There's a lot of funny jokes about that. But there is something really to it. So whether this man was of good character or not, he still hit on a target of something that is real, the frequency and the
I
intention.
agree. And even if only a part of you believes it, the power of suggestion is such a real thing. Our minds are so extraordinarily powerful that if we decide to believe something is true, I mean, we can manifest anything. Even if you look at, the sort of the destructive or shadow side of that, people who have convinced themselves of things,
Right.
cult leaders, cult members,
right.
this is just I would say a misuse of the mind. But your mind is so powerful that what you speak into it almost always comes out in one way or
Yeah, it
another.
does. You can speak it into existence, and that's gone on through the ages of time.
That's right. So
This
even if
is
you have half a belief in this radionic signature, or that there's a frequency with numbers, even if you're open to it, a little part of that, or even if it's pure placebo effect, a little part of it may create a change. And so we would like you to practice these. You can always Google them, look them up. There's a number of these.
And there
there's a
are
number of these.
other codes
Yes.
that people have invented that are for all of these things, and they're not from Grabovoi. That's fine too.
Right,
But we're talking about this one because this one's he's a little controversial. Yet he was a mathematician, so it's kind of an intrigue, and we're kind of like that on the kind of edgy side of things. And these are easily attainable.
Yeah. There's something, his character aside, because I think it's not unusual for anybody who has achieved a certain degree of fame or achieved a certain degree of power to kind of feel like they're above the regular rules of the world, which is why it's not so surprising that some of our most prominent people make the most egregious errors. I think, that whether the athletes or celebrities or CEOs or politicians or something like this. So now that doesn't excuse it, but I can see how it's happened. It's no secret that, power can be destructive in the hands of people who misuse it. But I would say that, it doesn't mean that the fundamental theory that they're working with is wrong.
Well, Nikola Tesla was made out to be a lunatic until the man died poor in a hotel room in New York City, and now
Others stole his inventions.
So I'm not defending this man, but what I am saying is that aside, why not give it a try? What the hell?
Right,
Seriously,
right.
what the hell?
And again, let yourself even have a skosh of openness to it, and be frank with yourself, and keep a journal or write it down, or open a text document on your device and see what happens. Try it for 48 hours and see if people are flirting with you, if you feel better in the morning, if you've made it a day without really succumbing to that or you know, succumbing to that addiction, or finding that you handled it a little better.
Or you found a dollar bill.
Right.
Or somebody gave you an unexpected refund.
Or you've done the one for peace, and you've had
Had a good
serenity.
night's sleep.
Right.
It's just, don't bias confirmation every little thing. Let it come to you. It's really actually pretty cool.
And the cool thing about this is, Grabovoi isn't asking people to believe in him. So you're not giving away your power.
Right. This. It's not about
you are using the power of your mind, and something that's still an unproven theory, but so what? So is much of the New Age stuff, honestly. You and I have been working as mediums and psychics for decades. Nobody can prove there's an afterlife or ESP, and yet
how does what
the
we
clients
say,
keep coming, and they keep coming back, and that so people are looking, and so give it a try. I mean, if you're unsure about it, or you feel you'll be mocked or ridiculed, don't tell anybody what you're doing. That I'm a big proponent of play it close to the vest.
Absolutely.
Until you see some change, and only then tell people who would be supportive, because even the most profound personal victory can be undone in an instant by somebody who says that's ridiculous.
That never happened.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you second guess it.
Or that was just luck, or that was that was timing, or that had nothing to do with it. And that really strips you of power, that you're just getting on the edges. So I don't know. We would love to hear what you guys have to say about it.
Yes, follow up with us on this, and we'll we can't answer your questions when you send us fan mail, but please send fan mail. It doesn't let us do that, but you can email us through a couple of different emails. She'll tell you.
Yes.
And she'll tell you, because she memorizes them much better than I do. I got a 1. Find us on TikTok.
You have other talents.
Yes, I do. I'm the social media one. Find us on TikTok and Instagram, Buzzsprout and Spotify, and the video will go up on YouTube.
Right.
But you can message us, and we'd love to share. We can change your name, don't worry. Your experiences, the good, the bad, and the ugly, we don't care. We're a little bit we want to be on the edge. We're not opposed to fighting back a little and being.
And we're not automatic believers in things, which is why we like to bring things to you guys. We'll try them, you try them. Let's see if it's got any value, because we will promote those things that have value, and we will call it as we see it if we think it's BS. So if you want to listen to us, you can listen to us on Buzzsprout, and you can leave us fan mail there. You can also listen to us on Spotify. You can see us on Instagram, and the email for Instagram is etherealmaterialpod@gmail.com, or you can send us an email at info@etherealmaterialpodcast.com.
You can message us right through Instagram.
And you can message us right through Instagram as well. So so we would love to hear about this. If you have had any success with these Grabovoi numbers, Grabovoi codes they're sometimes called, or any other numbers, we'd love to hear about it. So reach out to us, and we will talk to you next time. And in the meantime, I would say keep believing,
keep questioning,
and please keep in touch. Bye.